Since the beginning of the year, a lot of time has passed. So this video is about what really works this year. Value options are an intrinsically popular way to earn money through trading. Everything here is simplified to the maximum. So I have something to show you. My strategy consists of just 4 points and it's very hard to get confused. While we study each step, I will simultaneously be earning money online. You will see how a person who has been making a living this way for over 7 years does it. Let's go. Let's start in order. As I mentioned, I have just 4 main rules for the strategy, and we will go through them one by one. The most important thing is the choice of trading asset. It doesn't matter where you trade, whether on the pocket option platform or other. You need to clearly understand, for example, how this currency pair differs from, say, that currency pair. We have a bunch of different assets that we can trade, but all these assets have different charts. For instance, I can immediately say that this type of chart is definitely not suitable for us. According to my checklist, you must look for trending movements in the market, meaning there should either be a long downward trend or a long upward trend. For example, let's switch to this type of chart, and you can notice that, yeah, despite some sideways movement here, there is a significant range, and right now we have a downward trend and the chart is currently falling quite actively. These are exactly the types of chart you should be looking for, guys. Remember, not adhering to even one of these points does not guarantee you anything at all. However, if you carefully watch the video right now and do everything just like I do, you will be able to successfully increase your balance and achieve the same numbers as I have. Today, I am trading with a balance of $22,000. My goal is to earn just a couple of thousand. I believe we can easily achieve this with a stake of $400. Now we move to the second point, which is adding the Bollinger Bands indicator. You have the settings in the screenshot. You can memorize them or save them. Adding the indicator is very simple. Just click one click, and here we change the period to 28 and the lower parameter to 2. And the size, you can change whatever you want, but I make the upper and lower lines bolder. This makes a bit clearer for me. As you can see, the chart of this asset is moving along the lower boundary of the Bollinger Bands indicator. This is exactly what we need, meaning we will be trading on such currency pairs today. Guys, I'm opening a position for a decline here. This is my first trade, and now I will explain why I open a trade downwards. We are moving to our main trading triggers. For this video, I've highlighted just 2 that you need to know, and which are the most effective. The first one is when our price breaks out of the range of this indicator. Let me explain what this means. Look, the Bollinger Bands form a certain area. There is a lower boundary and an upper boundary of this area. At the moment when we break out of one of these boundaries, as in this case, where we have the lower boundary and the price drops significantly below this boundary, it indicates that there is a strong imbalance in the market that we can trade in one direction. Some people might trade this movement against the impulse, but I advise all beginner traders to follow a very simple principle. You should join the crowd. So right now, we have a very strong downward trend. We see that the price breaks through the lower boundary and completely exits this range. Everything that happens within this range is irrelevant now. The price is below the lower boundary, and we have no obstacles for the continuation of this movement. So we simply join the trend. Now I'm going to open another position for a decline, and we'll explain the second point about the trading range. Look, let's return to the trading range again. Pay attention to one more thing. The distance from this boundary to this one is approximately this much, but the distance from this boundary to this one is almost twice as much. So you understand that at a certain point, the range starts to expand. The upper boundary begins to rise, while the lower boundary starts to fall. The second point tells us that a really strong trend is emerging in the market. This happens in two cases. Either we break out of the indicator's boundary or the boundary starts to expand, or both happen, as in this case. And thus, we can confidently close a second trade in profit and earn another $368. This is a very simple trade, friends, based on three very obvious rules that each of you can remember and repeat. Very soon we will move on to point 4. Watch this video until the end. It is also very important. Well, before we move on to point 4, I want to make a trade with the help of my trading advisor. For this, I simply press the button to enable signals and receive them for 2 hours. Be sure to turn on notifications and open one trade based on the signal. Friends, we just received the signal, so let's quickly copy it. I remember that it's for 5 minutes for a buy, so we do it like this: 5 minutes up, that's it. The most important thing is to copy the signal as quickly as possible, because there are signals for both 5 minutes and 15 minutes. So be sure to turn on notifications. Also, I will leave the link to the bot in the description. Here you go. All reports on all signals are available, including losing trades. Everything is transparent and free. In the meantime, let's watch how this trade develops. Alright guys, we are approaching the end of the trade. In 5 seconds, our signal will close in profit. To be honest, it looks very confident. Let's see what we have here. We received a couple more new signals. This is a report for some other signal. Our trade on old CAD has closed in profit. The trade was for an increase. So now let's return to our strategy, and I will reveal the 4th point to you. Guys, just 10 seconds ago, a new Japanese candlestick started forming. I noticed that there is a good signal for a buy trade here, because we have, although it's not entirely visible. So let's do it this way. Here we have a small body for the candlestick and a long shadow. This is also a certain signal, a candlestick pattern, which indicates that the next candles are likely to be bullish. Additionally, we are moving out of the normal trading range. These ranges are expanding, meaning that the distance here is greater than here. So therefore, we are opening a trade, guys, in line with the trend. But what do you need to know is there is one setting that is free, yet very few people use it, and even if they do it unconsciously. Look, your task right now is to set a timer that you need to understand when this candle will close, because right now it's green. You might decide to buy since the candle is green, but in 32 seconds this candle could turn into a huge red candle, and I'm sure, just like here, after that you probably wouldn't want to continue trading upwards, because you see the size of this candle. Because but this candle differs from that one only, and this candle hasn't formed yet, while this one has already formed. Here's a simple example that could serve as a lesson for you. We have a level here, guys, and look at the red candle. At one point it was this size. You need to understand that, because if there's a shadow left here, it means that the candle was essentially a full body of the size. And here you could have easily decided to sell, because we broke through this level, this important level. But look at what's happening now. After formation, the price returned back above the level, and now there's no aggressive decline or rise occurring. So guys, never rush. Let's make literally one last trade, and now I'll look for a currency pair for you, and after that we will take our profit. Guys, look, I am currently observing the situation. In 7 seconds the candle will close, and I clearly understand that we are breaking out of the trading range. Plus, the indicator lines are expanding. This is an obvious signal for us, for an upward movement. So I am entering a trade on the new candle, and my goal is for this candle to be green. In other words, my trade duration and the closing time of this candle coincide. That is my objective. Well, the candle is forming green, just as I said. We are making a profit of $368. The market continues to develop, and your task is simply to follow this 4-step trading plan and everything will be fine. If you want to receive more signal and more strategies like this, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Telegram channel via the link in the description. Thank you for watching this video. Today I earned about $2,000, which is a good amount for me. I hope you can achieve the same. See you soon.